What's good, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. I am your host, Leon Jones. Date is Hump Day, Wednesday, August 3rd, 2016. We're going back to back to back right here on the 411 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube. You can also catch me every Saturday on Blog Talk Radio. 411 Talk Zone radio show is there as well from 12 to 2. This week's topic, we are going to be talking about appearance. I did a video on that yesterday, so I'm going to go a little bit more on depth Saturday. Call-in number is 215-383-5785, 215-383-5785. You have a topic that you would like for me to talk about, or you want to send me some information, you can email me at my Gmail account. It's lej6521@gmail.com. That's lej6521@gmail.com. Just want to make a short video. Always come up with topics. And I'm doing this topic because college is coming up. A couple weeks. Go right into fall semester. But I always hear individuals tell me how intelligent they are. Well, my kid is a genius. So my question to you is, how do you determine what a genius is? Do you take an IQ test? And if you do IQ tests really measure intelligence? Now, for me, I'll give you my opinion. It's another standardized test. And what you have to understand with standardized tests, they put little quirks to throw you off. Some of the information that is put on these tests, you have to work backwards. You have to eliminate, you have to substitute. So there's a lot of information that is not relevant. So let me go over some things that I have found out. What IQ tests have been testing people for their intelligence level, but now that the scale has been dismissed regarding intelligence, it's now a myth. Now, I got this source from telegraph.com/UK. And what it really comes down to when it comes to these intelligence tests, there are three types of intelligence. The biggest one comes from mathematical reasoning. It also comes from memory. And one thing I would like to address you all about taking a test, particularly if you're in the undergraduate curriculum of college. And this is where I'm going with the IQ test. Individuals can score high academically, but can you apply the academics to whatever you have to do? Let me give you an example. If I create a cookbook, can I cook what I created? Now, some of you might laugh and say, well, yeah, hell yeah. But let me tell you something. That's a big fat no, because there are individuals who have cognitive reasoning based on book knowledge, and there are individuals who can work with their hands. I particularly like to take the book, break everything down into simple components, and work with my hands. I think if you utilize both skills, it makes you more beneficial than somebody who knows a book. See, one thing about professors in the academic world, they think because they have a PhD that they are above the law, above reasoning. And what I find out about these IQ tests is they basically take in range of cognitive abilities that they found with people varying success rates that could only be explained by measuring any one of three methods of IQ. And basically the one is cognitive reasoning. Now you have other tests such as the GMAT, you have medical tests. Now these tests are used to help you get into a graduate school. But let me ask you a question. Does that make a person not smart because they score 100 on a test? Because when you hear somebody say, well, my kid's a genius, he scored a 145, he's Einstein or she's Einstein. But when you take them out and put them in the real world, they can't shine with the sun. In fact, they have problems utilizing the obvious. See, common sense, folks, is really based on life's experience. It's based on overcoming challenges. And let me tell you another thing. Those of us who've been to college, and I know there were classes I took many times. There were individuals that got the information a lot faster than I did. But when it came down to the brass taxes, I graduated with my information. My grade wasn't as high. But once I looked into the information myself, I actually grasped the concepts. See, not everybody grasps the concepts on a test. So when you are taking account these standardized tests to measure intelligence, there could be some ultimate bias too, because let's be honest, so many schools that have the poor children, particularly poor black children in inner cities such as Chicago, Detroit, and Baltimore. And I bring these three cities up for a reason, because these three cities have more or a higher black population than the rest of the cities in the country. That's why you hear a lot going on in these three cities, because impoverished areas have lackadaisical school systems. In fact, some of the teachers aren't qualified to teach, but they put them in these areas so they can have a job. But one has to understand that a standardized test is not the end all be all. What I'm looking at with the GMAT and the medical exam, all those other tests that you must take to step to the next level, common sense wise, can everybody be a doctor? No. Can everybody be a businessman or businesswoman? No. Can anybody go to college? No. I believe intelligence can be measured in a number of ways besides a standardized test. And we've been utilizing this system for years, and years, and certain people claim that they are heavily intelligent than others because they pass a test. You have a number of schools. I believe George Bush had the No Child Left Behind Act. It's when you had to pass a standardized test to get out of school. To me, if you got good grades, you understood the material. In fact, most of school that you really attend to, and even these standardized tests, these are basically taken off of psychometronics. You know, a lot of these tests are scored by Princeton and by Harvard. These are the individuals who are writing the test. They basically have something to do with psychology, behavior, because you have a lot of subpar applicants. And let me tell you something about brains. Well, different circuits within the brain are used for different thought processes. Now, research has showed this, meaning that separate tests are for short-term memory, reasoning, verbal skills. They're all needed to measure someone's overall intelligence. So when we base something on intelligence, are we talking about one method? Are we talking about two methods? Or are we talking about three methods? Most of these results are also based on an online intelligence test that was launched by the Daily Telegraph and New Scientist 2 years ago. And this must have been a study because it attracted more than 110,000 responses. Dr. Roger Highfield, he was a columnist, and he even said, when it comes to the most complex object, it's the human brain. And the idea that there's only one way to measure intelligence is definitely wrong. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this video because I'm going to go ahead and hop on the League of Dads. I'm also a member of the League of Dads. Again, you can catch my show, the 411 Talk Zone radio show on Blog Talk Radio every Saturday from 12 to 2. Call-in number is 215-383-5785. I am your host, Leon Jones. Thank you for listening to the back-to-back edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube. I'm going to bring this topic up on Blog Talk Radio this week as well because it's very important. And then we're going to get to other topics such as the media and how television has affected the thinking and the attitudes of this country. How television is a direct influence on what we see in this country. Always know, be thankful for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Always remember, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. In other words, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. So take care of your life's fulfillments today, but always prepare for tomorrow. That's right. Always prepare for tomorrow. I'm Leon Jones. I am signing off. Have a wonderful and blessed Wednesday. I'm out.